Hello, how is everyone doing tonight? Anyone here yet? I hope I did this right, because I don't see anyone.
It says live, so.
It's live.
Welcome to my completely voluntary choice. I know this will get recorded later, so even though there's nobody here now, somebody will laugh at that later.
Yes, somebody will laugh at that later. Oh my goodness.
I had no idea I was going to do that.
No, but it was awesome.
Thank you.
You're going to have to do it when people are back, or when people are here.
Oh, so I should leave this on.
Maybe. I don't know. That was funny. So, I don't see anybody here yet, but I don't think I did this right. I don't think that...
Your thing right here says live.
Yes, it does.
So I'm going to guess you're live.
I'm going to guess I'm live too. What I'm doing right now is I'm just double checking.
For those in attendance, I have voluntarily chosen to assist her today, and I have prepared the recorded statement. I have voluntarily gone ahead and said I would answer all of her questions without a problem.
Questions.
And with that said, I am more than happy to go ahead and answer yours as well. Make sure you say this with a smile or two later. Got it.
You're hilarious now.
Oh, she just found out that the live stream's actually live on her phone.
Yes, I did see that. So that's on.
All right. And take these off.
Okay. So, hello everyone. This is Ken. And of course, you know, we joke around a lot around here and we pull pranks on each other and things. And like this a lot.
I am actually going to take it off because it's dangerous when she has a leash on me. I know this from 3+ years.
Right? 30+ years.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so who you are?
My name is Ken. You'll find on her thing I'm Mind of Madness. There's a long story behind that, but not why we're here today. I have known Renee and been friends with her we met in September of 1989. So for those of you that are math, that is 32 years.
I thought it was only 30. Okay, I'm not a math junkie, clearly.
32 years this September. I do like math. That's why we used to do well in the stores together. I don't like shopping, but I can run numbers in my head, and she used to get me to the store so I could run numbers in my head. She didn't need a calculator then. Anyway, gosh, yeah, we were freshmen in high school when we first met. We have a daughter together who is an amazing young lady. She's been on a couple of her videos before. We have a grandson by her. We are friends, though lots of Jerry Springer moments. She does Phil Donahue, but I assure you,
I meant Jerry Springer.
Way
when I said Phil Donahue, I really meant Jerry Springer. And throw in some Phil Donahue too. Just a little bit.
Anyway, so we have been boyfriend, girlfriend. We have been lovers. We have been best friends. We, for a while, were pissed off and angry. Hello. We were pissed off and angry with each other at times. So, I mean, we have run the entire gambit. And
But tell them when we were last in a relationship, beyond friendship.
oh dear God, the last physical contact we had in a adult manner, I'll stay PG, was 10 years ago. She's turned nun. Seriously, she's turned into a nun.
Okay, I have been here for 12 years, so it's been long.
It's just after you moved here.
So
12 years.
But we are.
None. She just needs the habit.
I don't mind being a nun. I really don't.
Anyway, so all of that aside, yeah, like I said, a handful of years ago, I even fell way, way down on my luck to that it got ugly, and she took me in. She helped me out. And I am a much better person because of it today. So.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
You are a much better person. I just wasn't going to take the credit for some of it.
You kicked me in the ass when I needed to be.
This is true.
So.
This is true. So we've been friends for 32 years. I can say anything to him, and he'll get it. He may not agree with it, whatever, but he gets what I'm saying. It's between the lines.
We do have definitely our differences of opinions, but we're adult enough now that we can actually talk, agree to disagree, instead of you have to see it my way or else.
Right.
Well, I see it that way.
So, when did you figure out in this 32 years that I'm crazy?
When we were in high school.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, I didn't know how crazy, but nuts.
Right. So, everybody thought that I was crazy for prepping and all of that. When did you first notice my prepping? When did that become an actual, there's a lot here?
Well, probably the first time I noticed it, we were, it wasn't quite living with you yet, but I was coming over a lot. We were actually talking a little about it. I would make dinner for the kids and stuff, and I would try to figure out where things were because her cupboard was jammed with food and that, and so trying to figure out where everything was. Well, after a while, it became obvious that it wasn't just these cupboards are full, because as time went on, so I guess that would have been about 25 ago or so. Yeah, about then. I noticed that, like I said, pretty much where you lived from that point forward, you were always trying to prep something, whether it was food, whether it was find the best deals for the stuff we needed. Your mind was always going crazy like that. So
when did I decide? Because there was a point where you told me that you thought I was crazy. And when did you first decide that I was crazy for prepping?
Somewhere between the apartment that you were in before here and here.
It was only in the apartment that you told me that you thought I was crazy.
Yeah, I half jokingly now, but maybe not as much then, said that I thought you were like, borderline hoarder / doomsday prepper.
You said that in the apartment because all of my dishes were in that china hutch in the dining room. And then there was also a standing cabinet, the one that's out in the garage, in the dining room, full of food. And then the kitchen cabinets, except for 2 cupboards, were all jam-packed full of food.
No, you had 3.
Yeah, I had 3.
3 cabinets that were not full of food, and the areas you couldn't reach over the stove. Those had all your cookbooks.
Yeah.
But I don't really count those because
yeah, cookbooks.
Yeah. You know.
They're about to reach again, but I get on a chair and I get them.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, I jokingly said it then, but I was kind of serious, and it wasn't until probably last year during the pandemic and everything else when I finally was like, yeah, no, but it's got its place. So you were a lot nuttier about it than you didn't have a direction. To be fair, though, to be fair to me, I mean,
yeah, I was just prepping food. Yeah, there was no rhyme or reason to it.
No, I think that was part of the reason I did is
and this is right before. This is right before everything shut down, and everybody knew that we were going to have a problem for the year before. I was getting exponentially worse.
Okay, so like we had so many conversations in that year before the pandemic, and
you were so supportive, even though you thought I wasn't completely nuts.
I remember having these conversations, and I remember saying, look, you're not going to be okay unless you do what you need to do.
Right.
But you need to be focused about it instead of just all over the
random
place.
Right.
Because I
was manic.
You were well, I mean, up until probably a year and a half ago, a little bit before the pandemic, well, maybe even 2 years ago, because I think I started getting you to put together a focus, and I say I did, but it really choice and everything else, because you had everything going on in your head, and we sat down and talked, and you started really thinking about, okay, what do I actually need, and what do I have, and starting to put together a better system.
Yeah.
You knew what you needed to do. I helped you realize you needed to organize it.
Right.
So that you could do what you needed without feeling
right, because I was like, oh my goodness. So for me, that panic set in when I first started hearing about an illness in China.
Oh, God,
and they were hiding it. That was in the summer. Oh, that was in August of 2019 when I started hearing rumors. Or
late August, early September. I remember because
I was like, oh no, this is it, and I knew.
Yeah.
That was it. I knew. I'm like, okay, that's the tipping point. I knew that it was coming, and there was no going back. Mm-hmm. It had already started.
Right.
Now, I know that everybody thinks that it started later, but I was reading reports and I was reading documents and things back in August, September, and the doctor who passed away from it, I was reading about that 2 months. I read about it 2 months before it was mainstream media.
See, I heard bits and pieces because of people that I'm friends with that were not you about some of the crazy stuff that was coming. And I literally was having a conversation with one of the police officers that I worked with quite a bit. For the reason that I would work with the cops, I am security at a casino. Am I allowed to tell them? Or not? Don't care.
Yeah, anyway. You can tell them. They know that we live in Southwest Washington.
I work at A Casino. I'm one of the dispatchers now. At the time that I was hearing about this, though, I was on the floor all the time. I started hearing about this and going, I don't want to be on the floor with a bunch of people when a outbreak is happening. So I put a lot of effort and focus into getting into our dispatch office, where I only deal with a handful of people every day. And that's really helped keep the people I care about safe. I'm not taking a political stance on it. It's just that was my point at the time. She's still great.
Hi, Kai. Well, she's from Kentucky. That's awesome. Hi, Melissa.
You're going to want to watch the beginning.
Stormy, are you still here? My sweet Stormy. Her name's Lisa, but I call her Stormy. And
Right.
she calls me Shan. You see that?
Yeah.
She says Shan instead of...
Well, you have a gaming history, so...
Yeah, we have a 7-year gaming history or something like that. So anyway...
I know it's not 7 because I've been here since 2013.
And I was already playing before then?
You were playing after.
Oh, right. So maybe 5. Anyway, whatever.
She's about as... You're good. No worries about coming in a little late. And thank you, Lisa, for still being here. It's kind of fun.
Her name is Stormy. Thank you very much.
For you.
Yeah, for you, she's Lisa. For me, she's Stormy.
For Storm, this is the references she used to make to Barbie's bitch. Hi.
Yeah.
There's a long, funny story about that.
But Stormy wasn't in the dungeon when you pushed the buttons. I actually mailed toilet paper in the beginning of the
I see your thing there. Yeah. So
I think Stormy stocks up on that toilet paper a little bit better now.
I remember there were a number of packages that went out from the house, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, so-and-so doesn't have X,
usually toilet paper. Not always, but usually.
Yeah, still trying to understand that one. We had a respiratory issue that affects the face, so everyone went and bought toilet paper.
Right. Yeah, that made all kinds of sense.
We didn't worry about food at first. We had to worry about butt paper.
No.
Like, what the hell? Yeah, actually, she took advantage of the food sales at that time, too, because she knew exactly what was coming.
Yep.
And
and the week before the announcement for everything stopping and everybody having to stay home, I was a good girl. I didn't go to the store. I should have gone to the store.
I remember that. I was dying laughing because I was like, okay, so organize, figure out your thoughts, figure out what you need, and then once you have that...
That's true, Melissa. You can blow your nose on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I talked her into focusing on what she needed to and building a list for the stuff she needed because she was
I
all over, like we were saying earlier.
Do lists. I love lists.
So she's like, okay, that makes sense, and that'll help me. And then they said, you can't go out, only essential workers. And she went,
hi, Pilgrim.
I should have gone out. And I'm like sitting over there going, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Mommy, don't hit Daddy. Mommy, don't hit Daddy.
I wanted to kill you. I really did.
My logic was sound. And that's probably the only reason that she didn't kill me is because I made sense.
Right, but you only made sense if nothing happened.
No, I even made sense because, let's face it...
there was no room anywhere to walk.
Yeah, So...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A second.
No,
Pilgrim Radio, he is amazing. His garden I love it. And he is so amazing. He's the one I wanted you to check out because he does the I can't remember what it's called, but like the werewolves and
the supernatural, the cryptid
the
stuff.
cryptic stuff, not the supernatural, the cryptic.
Yeah.
So
Cryptids.
I want you to check out his channel.
So
because he's awesome. Everybody who likes cryptid needs to check out his channel.
So the part that's funny is that I have all these black envelopes in that, and the stories that I write. In one of her previous, her Costco one that I was involved in, I mentioned that I have notepads and stuff. I love writing cryptid stories. I don't know if they're any good. I've got one that's on a website for a contest. Yeah, we'll see if it does any well. But my intent is eventually to put more there. That said, find what you love when you're doing this stuff.
Right. I love prepping. I found my niche. Hey, you learned last year I'm not crazy.
No, I did.
What's funny is you went into a panic attack as soon as you found out that there was going to be a shutdown.
It wasn't so much a panic attack. I was like, well, it was kind of like with everything else. At first, I'm like, fuck am I going to, okay. How am I going to deal with this one? Because I had just started on my feet. And again, I spent a year in a horrifically depressed state, and she helped me. But
my force work well. They disconnected from my feelings. They have no idea about that yet.
Oh, they're learning quickly. That said,
well, they will tonight.
Yeah. That said, she helped me get my act together and everything else, and I started rebuilding my life. And I'm here since 2013. So in 2019, I was finally getting some really awesome progress. And then the pandemic stuff started coming through, and I was like, damn it, I don't want to lose ground. Panicked isn't quite the right word, but I was a heartbeat from it. It would have been a banana slip away. And then she's right. As she pointed out, look, we're fine.
We have everything we need. We're not going to need anything for years.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay. And I just went business as normal at that point. And actually, I made a lot more headway because I kept working part of the pandemic for the casino because the security had to be on staff. So I made decent headway. And in this last year, I actually have come just way above anything I've ever been in my life before. So, and again, I blame her. So, getting blamed for good things this time at least.
At least it's a good thing this time. Yeah. But it's not all me because you had to live it. And that, I for the rest of us who have been, prepping for a long time, those that haven't been prepping and entered into this moment where they had a job loss, and I'm not just talking about the last year and a half, got into a car accident and was laid up for months or years or the rest of their life.
Yeah.
For those of us who have been prepping, to see people who are not prepared and then get into those situations, it's really frustrating for us and saddening for us because, we've been, saying, hey, maybe stock up or get a fan belt for your car and put it in your glove box or whatever,
Well, with some of the vehicles I've had, that would have been a really decent suggestion.
I did suggest that twice.
Yeah. Those cars didn't need a fan belt. Ended up being great, paperweights in the U-Pullet. I don't know if anyone is familiar with the U-Pullet side of the Northwest, but they're a pick and pull type auto wrecking yard,
Or you
old
can,
junk cars.
they take junk cars to the lot and
I
then you.
used to be familiar with it, not because I'm like one of those guys who's a great backyard mechanic. I broke it. I didn't know I didn't have the money for somebody else to fix it, so I had to call my dad and say, "This making this sound." He's like, "This is what you broke." Like,
This time.
Okay, how do I fix that? So
I remember bubblegum and summons.
Yeah.
That he said that, not that he used that to fix it, but I remember.
Yeah.
I remember you were like, you were looking at me. I could hear him on the. He said, "Bubblegum and a rubber band." That's what it was. And you were like,
Yeah.
"Cool."
Yeah. I had to go out to pick and pull, or you pull it, depending on which one was open that day and which one had the car I needed in. And I learned how to put it on the car that I had because I had to take it off of the car that they had there. So, not fun. Anyway, that said, I am not mechanically inclined. I am not the guy that you want to help you with your vehicle because I am not mechanically inclined. So, help with the anxiety. A lot of
Yeah, Melissa, I heard that a lot from a lot of people.
Yeah,
the ones that were doing things before, had gotten started before everything started. And then there were people who started prepping after the shutdowns happened.
Stormy's point, hubby can fix anything, but I don't know how, but he does.
I want to borrow your hubby. I need him for about 2 weeks.
There are I'm fortunate enough that I have people I can call, or there is YouTube for pretty much how to fix most anything. Yeah. I took a maintenance file with my brother who, God bless him, he had the patience to teach me a bunch of basic type stuff. I didn't end up very far with it or anything else, but he needed a person. I needed a job. And I just did my absolute best not to disappoint him because he is my brother and I love him. So,
But you are not mechanically inclined.
No.
But your brother has the patience, so we were lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, he knew what I could and couldn't do, and he knew what I could and couldn't learn. So that was my fortune there.
Yeah, your brother's kind of awesome. I mean, you're both awesome. Don't get me wrong. You're awesome in your own ways.
Yeah.
And awesome in a lot of the same ways, too. So I have a question for you.
You have a whole list of questions.
I do. What was it like for you to deal with my behaviors? Because I really was acting crazy there for a while.
You really were.
I was. I laugh about it now, but it was bad then. Really bad.
Was and were past tense. And
okay, I'm always crazy, but I was a lot worse.
Different crazy. Don't punch me.
I'll just pull your leg hair.
No, son of a no. Honestly,
it's okay. I don't mind.
I know you don't. It's not your leg hair.
Oh, you can pull mine if you want.
You got legs on, or you got pants on. I'm good. I don't want to play with your pants in front of people on your live stream. I don't think that would be appropriate.
Probably not.
Okay. Oh, look, I get to touch the calf. Oh, why? Anyway.
Because I enjoy hitting it.
One of my more entertaining things is this. Oh, you just had a video pop up for you. But anyway, what was it like? Honestly, it was a natural evolution of watching you. No, God, no. Damn it.
He got away from me.
No, Stormy, no. Bad Stormy, bad.
We understood.
No, she got it. Trust me, she went for it. But it was kind of a natural evolution because it's not my place to devolve her past. But knowing what she went through
Are you talking about that 5 years during my childhood where
knowing your childhood, knowing your first marriage, all of these things factored in such a way that I understood that you needed certain securities. So,
and food security was really important. I think
it was a big one.
Guys know that I grew up with food insecurity. I'm pretty sure that Pilgrim Radio knows, but I don't think anybody else in here does.
So yeah, when you're a kid and there isn't food on the shelf, and that's talking about without trying to be,
without being dramatic, of course.
Right.
I as an adult, once I was pregnant with my first kid, I had to have the cupboards stocked plus extra, or else I panicked. And I literally panicked, had a panic attack. And I went to the store and I bought the store out.
Yeah, it was tough when I didn't completely understand it first. When I realized what was going on, it was doing my best to be supportive while we were younger, and I was much stupider and didn't know how, but was learning.
Yeah, well, we didn't have money, so when I was going and buying things, we didn't have any money, that was very frustrating for you.
It was at the time. Now, I will tell you, we are talking 90s, so like and Craigslist and all that wasn't a thing. The internet was still new.
Only the rich had computers.
Not necessarily, but we didn't have good. We didn't have the kind of computer. Like the computer they had was way exceptionally higher than anyone else. But
yeah, I didn't even I didn't even own a computer until 2000.
I had one a little before that, but that was a lot of work on my end. Anyway,
I had a Mac, an Apple computer before then in '95, but I don't count that as a computer.
No, I had a computer I get on the internet with.
I could get on the internet, but I didn't have internet access.
I finally got a computer 99, something like that. But I had access to local libraries and stuff like that. I digress. Anyway, YouTube wasn't a thing. All of these, apps that you can bargain shop on, and that they didn't exist at that point. So the consensus that I got from someone was that if we were going to get certain things that weren't food, we needed to shop, because at the time she was working a small business for Princess Hustle. I was helping where I could on that. I was working a full-time job in a call center, inbound only. I wasn't the jackass calling you guys. I was so against that. But
yeah, you were the assholes they were the assholes calling you. Not you guys, but
Yeah, people called me. That was how this worked. And then I was working part-time at a round table for extra I mean, it was crazy.
And I was working side jobs with my mother. Sheetrock. Hanging sheetrock. And I was my Monday through Friday was downtown Pioneer Pioneer Place, which was like a shopping mall downtown Portland.
Yeah, it's
And so we were working constantly.
So yeah, that was the thing, is we were trying to just put together all the money we could for different things and to actually improve our living circumstances, or to just go out and blow money on stuff that we hadn't talked about, which was irritated me more at that time personally. It wasn't that I was like, oh, we don't need this. I was irritated and said that because I was a dick. But looking back, I know that. Why are you spending money on all this crap? You don't need this. We have full coverage. Sitting down and actually talking like reasonable people. Anyway, so, we spent time figuring out
how to communicate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our relationship as a couple, it wasn't fast enough to salvage that. But
right, because 99 is when that ended.
Oh, bad.
It ended.
90.
We have not been in a relationship since.
No, we tried dating for a weekend. It didn't.
We tried dating for a weekend. That did not work.
Yeah, we realized, folks, an idea. There are cats and dogs that are mortal enemies that were like, ooh, wait, we got to pause this. They're about to get together. Let's get some popcorn. So, yeah, it was that kind of bad. But as friends, we do just fine. What in the hell is he doing? Jay, what are you doing?
He's into the garbage again.
Okay. You!
That would be Jethro, the pit bull. He's getting into the garbage, so his dad had to go clean it up. Come here, Jethro. Come here. Come here. Up here. Come on. Up. Get up here. Come on.
Big baby.
Get up here.
This is...
Oh, he can't quite reach. There you go.
This is Jethro.
He's got an owie leg, so he can't stand on his back and stand on my lap like he used to. Poor baby.
Yeah.
So
poor baby. He's just in the garbage, but baby.
So you learned how to deal with my behaviors. It was a learned thing.
It's, learn or else.
Oh my goodness.
I give her so much crap.
Yes, we give each other. What was your aha moment?
What do you mean?
Your aha moment that prepping is probably a good idea. Because you went from a diehard, no, this is stupid, to, yeah, I'm going to start doing that. What was your aha moment?
I swear to God, Jay, if you're in that trash again.
And he was going for it.
Anyway. So, I don't know if I necessarily had an aha moment. Slow evolution. Okay, so 2012, everything just started to go bad. 2013, I hit the lowest point of my life I've ever had, starting to rebuild. And that took even years just to not, like I was sinking in quicksand and in debt, needing certain things, getting rid of stuff that I didn't have space for. Give you an idea, I went from living with somebody in a 3-bedroom house to renting a room here, so much smaller spot. But at some point I realized I needed to repair certain things. I wanted to improve certain things. And then when you move, you spend just a ton of cash on the moving costs, the first and last if you're renting, or a down payment if you decide to buy a house. There is just a ton of money that has to go out. And with that said, I needed to have things in order to where I had a couple of months of food. I had the furniture and stuff that I needed. Like, I don't have a couch right now. I'm not asking for a couch right now.
He doesn't have room for one.
Right,
I would
exactly.
beat him with it.
Right. So, I like the idea of my gaming chair. So I have a gaming chair upstairs. And I thought, well, I'll get a couple of these for move instead of having like kitchen chairs, because that is totally my plan. I've already spoke to the kids about it. They're totally on board with this. They love this idea. They're a little surprised that Dad came up with this idea. But I mean, so I'm like, well, they're a couple $100 a pop, so I better get them one or two at a time, while I can. And then I'm like, I don't have a lot of cash, and my car went bad, so I bought a car off of my niece, and it started to go bad, and it ended up bad right at the end. And I would love to say it was totally the car. Okay, remember what I said before, mechanically inclined. Okay, so I got tired of calling my brother in the middle of the night or a friend to come save my ass. So I went, well, crap, how about I better think about that. So I bought a van. Well, when I bought the van last year, my credit score went up. Things started to improve. I realized that I was enjoying having a little more security, if you will. So it's not necessarily that I had an aha moment. I just gained a little more security. I was enjoying it, and it just continued to evolve.
Couldn't ever imagine going without food. My husband had went through it, so food was the first priority for our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with Melissa. I'm so glad you did not go through that. I would never want anyone ever to go through food insecurity ever. But I'm glad that you were on board with your husband and made sure that was a priority for your children.
Mm-hmm.
That gave him the security, I'm sure.
And for anyone on here who, didn't live through something like that, but you live with somebody who did, sit down, have a conversation, have a, dare I say, a heart to heart, depending on your personal relationship with them, because I'm going to tell you that it sheds a lot of light. My house as a kid was the one ever to, because my parents were amazing people. Okay. It was not uncommon for us to have a couple of kids. And sometimes it was because they didn't have anything to eat at their house. Sometimes it was because they just needed somebody to talk to, so they could talk to my parents. It was the neighborhood mom,
That's the way I was with my kids growing up.
Yeah. So, but because I had that positive experience as a child, our cupboards weren't bare. They got slim a few times, but my mom was Italian, so she could cook. And she could cook with pretty much nothing into something amazing. And did frequently. So.
And I got to eat a lot of those meals that were so yummy. So yummy.
So when we had the conversation about her food insecurity issues while we were dating, and then even later on in life when we were friends, because it's a constant thing. It's not just like a one and done. You're not, whether you're building a friendship, whether you're building a relationship, communication, my parents always taught me was key. They were together 41 years, married almost 40 of them before they passed. And for the year and a half after my father passed, my mother was still married to him. God bless her.
Yeah.
So they were, to me, and to a lot of the people I know, they were the epitome of how to make a relationship work. So I did not do that. But that said, if you're in a relationship, whether it is a physical relationship, whether it is a emotional relationship, just a friendship, and they're exhibiting some odd behaviors, are because of, basically being panicked they don't have food or something. Talk. I assure you, it can be very helpful and therapeutic for both sides because you understand what they're doing. They understand, they now understand what you're going through and why you're doing what you're doing, but also you now can help them focus on how to get where you guys are both happy, in whatever the capacity. So
I know that there are a lot of people who only one in the household preps and the other one constantly in the way. As it's like, I know a lot of people wouldn't consider it in the way.
I was in the way.
But having conversations with your other half. In this case, we're just friends, but it still was important to me because he's the father of my child, for him to understand why I was doing.
Kathy, I'm just reading your comment. That is kick-ass. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I was mom to all my daughter's friends too, and away they ran to my house. That's awesome. I mean, they felt safe and they knew that they were going to be okay there. That's awesome, Kathy. So, so we talked about, you talked about you decide to start prepping, and that's because you're going to be moving into your own home.
Yeah, eventually I want a place of my own because we get along fantastically, like as friends, and as I mentioned earlier, we don't always agree. We agree to disagree. One of the things that I strive for is I'm not a guy who just, you can go, you're gonna do this. It never goes well. Right, work?
I don't think anybody that you work with.
That doesn't matter. See this, yeah, they'll agree. It's like, you will do true. This or else. I don't deal well with that.
Yeah, but I tell you, and I'm joking. Well, right. I'm serious in what I'm saying, but the way that I'm presenting it is joking.
Right, but we have a history to be able to do that. That's not a lot of things.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know where I was going somewhere with that.
Yeah, I don't remember where.
Oh, you were asking me what I did and what did I...
No, I was saying, so, you said that what made you decide to start prepping
right.
Moving into
the house.
So, and you mentioned that you prepped those chairs.
I'm in the process. I've got the first one, but I want to get a few things paid off first and then get more because they take up a lot of space.
Right.
So I'm getting like my van paid off, for example. But I want my own place. As much as I love her to death, I don't agree with all of her stuff that she does, but I still have enough respect to follow it.
I've gotten a lot lax about a lot of things too, though.
That's true. There's some of them I still don't get. I get it for you.
Right, like lining the garbage can.
That's the one I was going to mention. The outside garbage can, she's have a liner in it.
But
it's her house.
The story behind that is just way too disgusting to share with anybody.
Right. No. Like I said, it just.
Yeah, I mean, it's just way too disgusting.
But, like I said, oh, yeah, definitely want to watch the beginning.
Yeah, where's that chain at?
It's on the floor. I don't want to be choked by it again.
Thank you, all of you, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Or we appreciate it, I should say.
But like anybody else, when you live with somebody else, you make certain concessions. It is her house. It is her rules. I am fortunate enough that she listens when I have on a rule. I am fortunate enough that, yes, they definitely can get smelly, but they're garbage cans. That's what they're supposed to do. Anyway, but yeah, when you live with somebody, you make concessions. And, she hears when I have a question or a concern, and either I get it, why she's doing it at the end because I get a better explanation, or she realized that what I'm saying makes just as much or sometimes more sense. I'd say it's a 50-50, but I don't have any. I still respect that it's her house and her decision at the end. But because I want my own place, that was part of what led me to want to do this. So getting the security of being able to handle that move so that when I get into a place, I'm not going, pulling out my hair. Oh, wait, I shaved it. So. All right, what's your next one here?
I haven't even gotten to ask my actual question yet. No, I mean the one that I was trying to when you went on that tangent.
Sounds like a you thing, not me.
So.
We're waiting.
You said that your own place was the reason why you started prepping.
Yeah.
What did you prep first?
I started with probably just trying to increase the food I started buying. And buying, like I said, the gaming chair. I'm a big guy. I'm 330, 6'4". Bobby 330. I'm not going to pretend I'm not. It's what it is. So I need things that will hold up. I bought the one chair to make sure that they'll hold up for me. I started buying a little bit more food than I needed each time so that the next month when I did the same, it's a snowball effect. It just keeps going. And then in a weird twist, I would say I probably started prepping 4 things all at the same time, more or less. One was, like I said, the chair. The second one was the food.
I think the older I get, the more like I become. I agree with you, Melissa. That's me too. Right on. I am way more laid back than I was when I was 19 and kicking your butt on a daily basis.
According to the script that I'm supposed to. Anyway.
You noticed the script.
So, yeah, she had no idea I pulled gags on her for this, but if I was going to do this, I had to be who I am, and I'm a screwball.
I love it, by the way. It keeps me laughing all the time, and I keep him laughing all the time. Although I am going to step on his toe here.
You missed. I'm okay with that, though. So I prepped the chair. I prepped the food, like I mentioned before. And then I did something different than Nay here. I went with work. I was talking with a few people I work with, and I decided to start a small investment in stocks. I've made some money. I don't have a ton in. It's not like I went, ooh, I'm dropping $5,000. I had actually a couple of guys that started after me that dropped more in than, yeah, I would laugh better too. So they were like, drop more in a year after, because I was putting like 5, 10, $20 in, what I could afford into it, new investments I thought would grow, and I've been. Some went bad, most went well. And then I also decided I wanted to. I got a buddy of mine that got me into checking out coins. And Scott, I'm not into the same kind of coins he is. Okay, but I was interested. It was like one of those kicks around the back of your head. So I started collecting silver novelty coins for different things. In fact, I have 2 more from the set that'll be here sometime like the 10th. I haven't told her this first she's heard about this. But I have quite a few different novelty coins and stuff. And my reasoning for those is they will never depreciate below the value of silver. So even if the novelty coin loses its value as a novelty coin, it will always be worth a troy ounce. So
Kathy, that's awesome. Beans and rice. That is a great start. Melissa?
Yeah.
And Stormy, you have to go for about 15 minutes. You better be back, young lady. I love you.
We'll see you in a bit. But yeah, I don't have as much space as she does. Yes, we live in the same house, but my thought was I needed to prep on things I could store longer term, while she was prepping on here and now and long term. So I would buy my daily stuff, and when the kids are here, I have more of it. I am through my work. That's usually where I eat because that's part of my pay scale.
It's awesome that they feed you.
Yeah. So, and
it's a good amount of food too, and just like, hey, here's $5. You and everything on the menu is $6.
Right. I mean, so they went, hey, 777, $7.77 a day. But if I'm eating a decent meal, it's $6.50. And then if they have the Rice Krispie treats, I totally snag one so that I can. No, not for me so much. It's for little man who runs around, and Grandpa says he can have this, right? Mirror. Oh, well, it's too late.
Matthew, I was living with my daughter at the time and took up her space. That's awesome. And the one that your daughter did not throw out your water, right? They just carried the jugs and brought them to your new apartment for you full, so you didn't have to fill them back up again, right? I hope I'm remembering that right. My memory all the time is shot. That's why I have lists and I live by them. By the way, I don't have done on my list that I was supposed to get done today.
Well, you were doing this, so it's kind of a little more challenging. Finished up her work stuff and then Illy goes into a live stream. Gee, wonder why you didn't get anything on your list done.
Awesome, did remember.
Sweet. All right.
I care about everybody that, is willing to share their life with. I really appreciate it. So, what is it like for you to prep in a small space?
Yeah, I wasn't so good at that, huh? It's challenging.
But you have done things to make your space work for you.
Okay. So most recently, I bought a multi-tier shelf for my bedroom, and I put some of the stuff that I just had loosely sitting around in various spots. Actually cleared up a couple of additional shelves.
While I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee right back.
So I went to, first off, I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of like rickety metal shelves and stuff. She's got some nice metal ones, but way too big for anything I can do anything with space wise. So I started having to research a little bit of what is the best for size, for strength and everything else. I got one from Home Depot, and it is plastic, which I was a little rough on. Still more than one daughter moved out, used her old bedroom, and I still have. Yeah, yeah. Uh, she did that too.
He didn't read that so that I could hear it. Store more than one daughter moved out, used her old bedroom, and I still shop for 4 instead of just the husband and I.
Yeah.
Very smart, Melissa. Very smart.
So, like I said, no, she did that too. I bought this. I researched what was going to be a better deal. I literally went down and physically looked at the dimensions. I realized the one I want was going to be a little too high, but that the top layer could come off. So I set it up, and I had just stuff on my desk. I used to work at a plastics factory, so I would take the scrap parts and everything else. Yeah, she preps for her kids too, but like I said, look, there's no nice way to say it. I was kind of like a raccoon. Ooh, mine! I can make this work in this, and do this, and that. And I built all sorts of crap out of things that people were throwing out, and everyone was like, I can't understand how you did it. Anyway, so I decided to get rid of part of that crap. Get something that was sturdier in that. Filled it up shelving wise. It worked a lot better. Before that, I bought a couple of 6 cubby cube, and I placed them on top of my dresser because I could still set stuff up on top of the cubby cube like I could on top of the dresser. I have all these little cubbies that work out well. So like I have towels in one. I have a lot of gear for. I'm trying to get my massage therapy license back, so then I have spots that are for the gear for that. Slow and steady. I'm prepping all of that stuff so that I'm utilizing space I have. I'm not afraid to swing a hammer, even though I'm not mechanically inclined.
Mostly hitting his thumb with that hammer. I'm just kidding.
It's the one thing I don't usually do.
I hit my thumb, and I'm the one that hung sheetrock for years.
I do have a funny story about that though, because like when I was a kid, 19, my best friends Mike and Tony and I all went out camping, and we got this tree. We used to clear cut the sides of the roads. I'm pretty sure they still do, but at the time there was nothing against grabbing one of the trees that were clear cut from the side of the road, so we did.
You're one of the reasons why there's a rule against that now.
Maybe. Anyway, so we cut it in half, brought it back to camp, cut it in half, or we had to cut it in half a second time, stick the one half in the back of
You're
his
not
wagon.
slow, Kathy. You're not slow at all. It's okay.
You're good. Part of it is the difference between the live stream feed and the
right, because your messages are showing up way faster on my phone than they are on the screen here for us.
So anyway, but yeah, we broke the axe, and I used a hatchet to cut this tree into logs. But as time went through the trip, the logs got bigger and bigger, and I got tired of cutting, but I got the nickname Chip. So because I was whack, 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 and it wasn't intentional. But honestly, that's why I don't hit my thumb with a hammer, is because of that experience. Or at least that's the one I'm crediting it to.
Right. You can just see what you're doing. I'm blind.
So, all right. What's your next one here?
What are you planning on prepping next?
We just did the Costco thing, so I'm a little okay. So the game plan around here for Halloween is the reason that I'm going to do this. I am trying to expand some of my tool and that collection, including extension cords and whatnot. So some of us do a really heavy-duty Halloween. Well, this year I've suggested a couple of fun ideas we're doing, but in order to make that happen...
He meant decorating, not prepping. Halloween decorating, not Halloween prepping. I prep for Halloween all year long. I know.
I stand by my stand.
I have boxes and boxes of Halloween.
Folks. I didn't stutter. Just saying. Anyway, so I got a couple of cool ideas. Some of them are not so PG. Yeah, I'd laugh at her too.
She was laughing at you.
No, I'm pretty sure she's laughing at you, but I'm good with it.
I think she was laughing at us.
Probably. So, like, I saw this cool thing where, like, hands come out of the ground and everything with these boards and all that, and this red light underneath. It's really cool. So, her yard blows. So, a pit and everything. Well, like I said, to do all of this, I need, like, extension cords. I need some safety gear. And having a good, solid extension cord for, like, your generator and stuff, that's a good thing to have regardless. Okay, so I got this heavy-duty little squid, setup so that I can hook up multiple different things in the yard, but I can do like 2 of these pit deals. But I also want to do, she rocks. I also want to do, if I have the money, I want to do a Minecraft portal. Now, for anyone who's no idea what the hell a Minecraft portal is, it's like blocks of obsidian in the game and an archway into a world in the game. And it's got this purple haze. Well, again, I want to run an extension cord, some lights, and I want to use the I have to miss the whole thing through. So,
and we're going to have to put our black lights in the arch.
Well, that's why the purple lighting.
Right. I have purple Christmas lights that we could use.
Either black light or purple light. I don't know which. We'll see where it goes. But my point being is, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm going to prep for, this kind of instead of getting the standard like 16 gauge, kick-ass, Halloween just rocks.
Like, ugh, sheetrock.
Yeah.
And Kathy's like, that's one of my daughter's favorite holidays too. Do you realize how chaotic our conversation is by looking at these comments? Because they're.
Did you expect something different?
No, I didn't.
So
I'm
yeah, instead of getting
so
like
it's all good.
a 16 gauge standard extension cord, I want a 12 gauge. And the reason I want a 12 gauge is if I have some kind of a heavy equipment off of a generator of some kind, I got a 12 gauge cord. It'll work great for my decking, but I'm trying to think past the end of my nose, which is still new for me, even though I'm 46. So my next prep is going to be for that kind of a deal. In this case, I'm looking for 12 gauge extension cords that'll run a distance, and I'm probably going to go to Home Depot or start, looking around for.
I already did that.
Yeah, she got some for her. But again, like I said, just because she has some, I intend to move at some point.
Right.
And
it's a prep thing, and it's really an important thing to have, because guess what? You never know if you're going to have to use a generator and how far, especially if you have a solar generator. You have no idea how far your generator is going to be from what you need to power.
We've discussed with the solar generators the way it needs to work. And we had this conversation about the cord gauge just a few days ago before she bought a cord. She's like, why would you need the 12? It's so much more expensive. And I'm like, because you can run more power through it without.
Right. I can run my drill and my skill saw.
You can run your drill and your skill saw. You can literally take that cord and run it to and not have the fridge struggling to get the power it needs. So,
right. 12 is important. And I got 2 of them 50. No, I got 250 and 125 of the 16.
You took them, put them away.
Yeah, I put them away.
Anyway,
Stormy. Hi, Stormy.
So yeah, my point being is I'm prepping for long-term with things like that, because I know Christmas and stuff is coming behind that, which means, again, I know I'm going to need. I have 16 gauge cords. They probably will work for the Halloween stuff, but
Oh, I didn't get any 16s. I got 12s and 14s.
Right. See, the 16 did what I needed for work. So, but it's older. It needs to be replaced. Not like it's bad older, but I need a backup. So if I'm going to get a backup to a good cord, then I want a backup that's, able to run a fridge and something else if it has to.
Right. Yeah, I was reading about the gauges, and we had gauge when I was working sheetrock.
Mm-hmm.
But
with your dollar generator?
I can a fridge with my. Is that a brand name of generator? Solar generator. Okay. But everything else. So if you look at your schematics, Kathy, if you look at your schematics on your, that book for your refrigerator, it should.
The fancy words.
It should say, like, at what temperature your fridge takes energy-wise. So, like, if you have it set on the coldest possible setting, it'll take the max amount. But then if you turn it down, like I have a 1500 watt generator, and it powers my fridge. I have to turn the temperature to a warmer setting for the generator.
It'll still keep things cold. You just do a little faster.
Right. And whatever's in the freezer part section of the refrigerator will not stay cold. But so I'm hoping that if you can look at your generator and your refrigerator, that maybe you might be able to make that work for like maybe a couple hours. Because generally when you're looking at I learned this from Alaska Prepper, generally when the motor's running to cool things down, when the motor turns on, it takes, that's the usage.
Okay, this is only a 350 watt.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So the 350 watt will do like charge up your laptop, your cell phones, but it won't run a TV or a DVD player. But you can look at getting a converter or an inverter. Is that what it's called? A converter or an inverter? So that you can plug in your toaster or your blender, not a microwave, but generally something small is more than the 350 watt. Some small appliances you can still use on that. But you need I don't remember if it's an inverter or converter. I don't understand how all that works. I just ask Alaska Prepper if it'll work. I give him all the information. I'm like, will this work? He'll answer. Sometimes he won't.
So I'm going to refer to Dad's theory on this. He did teach me a very, very valuable lesson that I thought was dumb, but I was wrong. And I say I was wrong because I literally watched it be wrong firsthand. So, fan and recharge things. Yeah.
And Melissa says something she would like to get one day is a solar generator.
So this will kind of what you're saying,
I
Melissa.
love Rudy too. Rudy is Alaska Prepper.
Right. Dad used to say, now he was an iron worker, so the tools he had to buy were spendy. And we're talking like hundreds of dollars spendy back in the 80s and late 70s. So we're not talking like it was cheap. But him and my mom would figure out what tool he needed the most that he didn't have. He would put money aside for it, and eventually they would buy the best, the one he was looking at. And it wasn't always like the top of the line, but it was a really good quality. And his theory at the time was you're going to get what you pay for. So if you buy, just to get you by, you'll buy crap just to get you by and it'll break, and then you'll be doing it again. So with that said, what are we? Yeah.
Hubby just got a new generator for camper. It runs everything in the camper, including air conditioner and TV and microwave.
Nice.
I can't spell. No, she can't.
So
awesome, Stormy.
Right.
Oh, did he ever? Did hubby ever get that cart made for generator? Melissa, living in the backwoods, we have lost power in the winter for 3 weeks once during an ice storm, and gas generator is so loud for freezer. Solar would be nice for small things. Yeah, that's true, Melissa. But in an actual grid down, I would not want a gas generator with the gas prices that are coming our way. Yeah. And I wouldn't want something that was loud for people to come and get on my property while I'm trying to sleep and take the generator or the gas, whatever, because it's just.
So to the point that, because I asked her, because she went with solar.
Yeah, I went completely solar.
I asked her why. And she mentioned, like she just said, the grid down thing.
I'm so sorry, Stormy. I hope that it works out for him this time.
Well, it'll work out well.
Yeah, it'll work out well. Hopefully.
But realistically,
Yes, Kathy, so loud.
Your solars are going to be probably expensive, especially the better quality you buy.
Right, like the Blue Eddy. That's what I want.
Okay, so if you're looking to buy something like that, pick what's going to work for you. Pick a good quality. Pick something that's got a great history. Whatever it is, I recommend researching the hell out of it, because if you're going to do it right.
Right.
When you start putting money aside for it, you're going to get what you pay for.
That's right.
So, and if you go to a solar, I realize for me, long term, the solar is going to be the better deal. I'm not always trying to figure out where I'm going to get gas for it.
Yeah, that was my thing. I don't want to be paying $10 a gallon and have a generator that takes 20 gallons a day.
Right. So we're talking some pretty significant,
We have a
aside.
solar panel for our house, but not for our generator.
See, the solar panel for the house helps cut down on the cost for the house. Again, like I said, that's a great investment.
Right, and when other people lose power, you don't.
You can keep at least a minimal amount depending on how it's set up. Yep.
Yeah, I have those lights too. I love them. So
I recently bought the smaller version of a solar. It does what I need.
It's a 500 watt.
It's not, like I said, it's not going to power a fridge or anything like that in my case, but it does everything I need for if I go camping or whatnot. I don't do a lot of electronic stuff for camping. Yeah, exactly. For lights and that. I used it.
Yeah, we all need lighting, for darn sure.
Yeah.
I walk into the walls in broad daylight. Literally.
Not only do you walk into walls, you set up bomb detectors. So I don't know if she's told you this story, but I am going to completely and totally tell this story. And I'll probably end up beaten later for it. But about 2 years ago, I think it was, she's going to work, and the building that they were in was not the greatest.
Stormy knows this story.
Okay, so Stormy knows.
She's in my gaming group, and I told my gaming group what happened.
Okay, so she is at work, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Kathy's going to get those puck lights next month, the ones that I just put in my pantry. They are awesome. They take a lot of AAA batteries, though. Be prepared. Stock up on batteries.
And so batteries do better in the freezer for long-term storage. Anyway, so she's at work, and she is in a cleaning spurt, and she is so focused. I mean, dead focused on what she is doing.
Right, because I have 6 hours worth of work to get done. 2 hours, so I am running.
Okay. She runs head first into the wall. Folks, let me explain this to you, okay? It's not the wall wasn't there 1 minute and there the next. Oh, it jumped right up in front of us.
Yes, it did.
Okay? No. Anyway, so.
Excellent, Kat. I'm glad you have a lot of batteries, because you're going to need them.
She just, boom, hardcore to the point she actually.
My entire body
bounces off this wall. This is an older building, okay? So that does play into this. It's not like I had, up to code, net, structure for this year's stuff. We're talking it's up to code for when it was built. And because they haven't made improvements, they're not required to up the code, okay?
Right.
In the state of Washington, if you make improvements onto a building, you have to improve it by at least 25% to bring it closer to code. They haven't done that at this place. Mm-mm. So that said, she walks into one of the walls that's always been there.
I did not walk into that wall. I guarantee you I would not have done what I did. I'd given up what I gave myself.
The building is old enough. It has a bomb detector. I'd like you to take a moment here to really consider this. How old this building is. She is not on the first floor, ladies and gentlemen.
3rd floor, top floor.
3rd floor. Powers into a wall in what I can only describe as attempting to pull a Kool-Aid man. Yeah!
Fat Albert.
No, Kool-Aid man. Yeah. Trying to go through. Didn't work. Shakes the building foundation.
Everybody thought there was an earthquake. The fire alarm and the bomb alarm were going.
Okay. The paramedics.
The fire and police and
Fire
the bomb
police
squad.
Fireman shows up. Police show up. Bomb squad shows up. Ambulance shows up.
Everybody.
If there is a
even
first
the mayor
responder, if there is a first responder, they came to see her that day.
Even the military.
Okay. Like I said, you get a bomb detector to go off, you draw a little bit of attention.
Just a little bit.
Just a lot. Anyway, so that said, the paramedics had to out. She had to later show them basically what happened. She actually had to kick the wall hard enough to show them that the building to code. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was amazing. She had to come home and tell me about it. They were worried she had a concussion.
I have a concussion.
She convinced them she didn't have a concussion at the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is correct. I'm telling you, both of you ladies. At work, she manages to convince him she doesn't have a concussion. Ladies and gentlemen, she had a freaking concussion the size of, Michigan. And really shouldn't have been at work anymore. Hell, she shouldn't have been driving. So I don't want to hear anything about the one that I got. Okay. I got one concussion here, and she is like, oh my God, I believe you. This was years ago. Okay. She's older, wiser than I was when I was younger, and dumber. When I got my concussion playing foot with my buddies, okay, I at least was done for the day.
I had to work, okay? Come on.
So, hits a building hard enough to set off a bomb detector, gets a concussion, manages to lie, ladies and gentlemen, lie to the first responders. I'm fine. I'm going to work. It'll be good.
That day was so funny. Oh my gosh. For a week, I don't even hardly remember anything. I do remember hitting that wall though. And I do remember the fire department knocking on the door. We have to evacuate.
It's like, huh?
Why? The bomb went off. Or the bomb detector went off. I'm like,
she had to.
There's an explosion in the building.
Yeah.
They thought there was an explosion in the building, and I'm like, no, I just ran into the wall. We're all good. And I was work was still cleaning.
Yeah, the fire department demanded that she explain and show them. The paramedics had to check her first. The person with her insisted on calling 911. Thank God.
No, 911 showed up.
They showed up, but yeah, they checked you out because you were. Yeah.
The guy I was taking care of demanded that they check me out because I bounced off the wall, back into the sink, and then back into the wall again. So he wanted me to be checked out because I was like a ping pong ball going back and forth. And what was my tailbone where his sink hit me in my lower back, right above my hips. Man, that
I remember. She had me check out to make sure she wasn't bruised. Here is the funniest thing. At this point, if she needs looked at, she usually asks me.
Yeah, because if he puts his hands in the wrong places, he knows he's going to go through a window. And I got it, and he knows it, so we're all good.
So, yeah. Again.
Yes, that's the other person there from me.
Yep.
There's only 3 of us living here now.
Well, that's not true. We have 4. Jethro knows he doesn't think he's a dog. He knows he's a person. So right. Jethro's number 4, and you already saw him earlier.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
I really could have messed with Stormy and told Stormy, no, there wasn't anybody there. How you doing? I want to know how everybody's doing. We've been sitting here talking and talking and talking. And
This is kind of weird because honestly, these are the kind of conversations that we have with each other and with people that come into the home on a regular basis. It's not like this is all put on. I'm weird. I've got. I told her up front. I don't usually do stuff on. Usually if I'm on a camera of any kind, I'm some kind of a character from my old days. I'm with you, Lisa. I love that pooch to death. He actually is the reason I'm alive. I am not going to lie.
yeah, Stormy actually knows quite a bit about Jethro because I talk about him all the time. Like he's my son because he's decided I'm mom, whether I want to be or not.
Yeah.
By the way, I decided I was not mom, and he was not my responsibility, and Jethro decided, so I'm mom, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, he was like, that's nice. So what are we doing, Mom?
Right?
I'm glad you think you're not Mom, but what are we doing?
So we are actually at an hour and 30 minutes.
Mhm.
And I told you live streams are generally, an hour and a half.
Okay.
And I don't want to put you in a position where you feel like you have to keep going if you don't want to.
I'm okay.
And
she was.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, her dog broke her elbow.
Oh, that's
It is
right.
so
She did tell
bad.
me that.
I did tell you about it was Oscar who broke your elbow, right? I hope I'm getting that right. I'm gonna feel horrible if I did not get that right. But yeah,
So-
it's still recovering from that.
Yeah.
So, but it's it's been an hour and a half. I'm happy to keep going, but I need a cigarette. If we do keep going, I'm going outside for a cigarette, and I'll take you with me. But I need to know if you guys all want to keep going because we are at that 1 hour 30-minute mark. So you guys tell us, and you tell me.
Okay.
You're fine? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Oscar. I was right. Hey, my moving back. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. He knows what that means. So if you guys want to hang out and keep going, we will. But otherwise, if you don't, let me know. Please, in the comments, just let me know what you want to do here.
We can take this outside, and I'm fine with that.
Let's stop at 10 and so do I, because we both have to get in game. And I was supposed to join the war. Is it too late to? Phone's dead. Oh, Lisa, you gotta, Stormy, you gotta log in for me and join war for me if it's not too late.
So
I'm gonna go plug this.
You plug your phone in. I'm gonna read your next question.
I don't remember what my password is to get into my game. To get into our game.
So the next question she's got on here is, what do you need from me to help you prep more efficiently? Go outside. Go now.
Go outside. Go now. Yeah, that way I can. Yeah.
Not kill her. Need for nicotine. There's been more than a couple of times that's been questionable.
All right, you take this.
All right. So I'm also going to go ahead and put these on because it is still the Northwest, which means it's bright.
It is. And it's beautiful. We are still so green, but with the rain that we have not had, we are actually turning brown.
Okay.
And we usually only turn brown for a couple of weeks in August, and then it's done.
So what happened there, folks? Whoa, that smokes. I got nothing. What the hell? Trying to figure out her laptop here, folks. Give me a minute. Give me a moment here, guys. Okay. I would say when last we left our epic heroes, but I would be a total... Yeah, it's fixed. Yikes! Run away! Alright, give me a second here, folks. We'll, Alright. So, when last? Yay! Yeah, sorry about that. So, what happened was we stepped outside, and the Wi-Fi didn't quite reach. So, and I'm laughing at her a little bit because about a year ago she was like, the Wi-Fi has to stop at the door. We went past the door. So I'm making fun of her. But my smoking story. I quit smoking 2004, July 7th. July 6th or 7th. The reason I remember this is because it was the year my son was born, and for the first time in my life, I was lighting fireworks with my cigarette, and my daughter freaked out and saw her dad smoking and called me up like a day or two later, sobbing she didn't want me to die. So, yeah. And when I asked her why she thought I was going to die, she's like, you are smoking. Okay. This is a 5-year-old little girl who is now 22, by the way. So that's how I quit, you know.
Oh, so it was almost 23 years ago that we split up. Because I was pregnant with Miranda in 99.
It was December of 99.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was December of 98. Because she was born in 99.
Right.
Anyway, I digress. Anyway, so what do I need from her to help me prep more efficiently? Space.
I knew that was going to be his answer.
Yeah. Once the garage gets cleaned up the way she likes, though, we've chatted, I might have a little more space to work with, depending on her needs. And I'm not like a big dick, like, I'm going to help you do this only if I can. No, I'm going to help her either way.
Yeah, because I was thinking in that middle space where I've got those 2 shelves, we could put a third one in.
Okay.
We'll talk about it, but, I'm pretty sure that's where we're going to end up going.
There's been like a dozen different plans, and 13 of which have been scrapped. Yes.
A dozen's only 12, so if 13, yeah, your math is like mine.
No, my math is absolutely accurate with your logic.
Right.
I don't get right often.
Did we lose Melissa? I hope not.
We lost a few people because of
Yeah, we did.
The drop, and it blows. So, Melissa, if you watch the rest of this later, we're sorry. But yeah, basically
so
at
Kathy
this point,
said she quit about 4 years ago and started vaping.
I know a lot of people who use vaping to quit smoking, and a few of them quit vaping after. The trick that I learned was most effective for what it's worth. They started counting how many puffs they were taking on a cigarette, how often they were smoking, how many cigarettes, and then they were matching their vape to what they were smoking, and then they were trying to vape a little bit less each time. But if you just vape without paying attention to anything, it's really easy to actually increase your addiction, is what I've been told.
Like Ben, he went from 1 pack of cigarettes every 4 days to figuring out that his vape pen held 3 packs of cigarettes and he was going through 1.5 vapes a day.
Mhm.
Oh, that was bad.
So
Space is what you need to prep more efficiently.
yeah, I mean, when we would do moving and stuff when we were younger, she loaded the boxes because she could load the boxes in a much more efficient way. I mean, we could both load boxes, but she was much more efficient about what went in them and space conservation in the boxes. I, however, was the Tetris guy. So, like loading the trucks, loading, utilizing the space that we had, it was a good combo. It worked out well. So, with that said, I'm learning and have been learning some of her techniques to effectively use, fill those boxes, so to speak, and then just continuing to use my Tetris techniques to
stock the boxes. Man, when we moved, he could fit so much in that truck or in that car. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And now when I go Costco shopping, my car can get loaded.
I went camping with an 88 Toyota Celica. Now, for those that are aware of what an 88 Toyota Celica is space-wise, and are going, for those that have no idea, remember, I am 6'4". This car is built for, let's see here. I see your
is to
comment.
cut down on the nicotine as time goes by.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm not, okay, for 20 plus years, every year my parents said, this is the year we're quitting. So I do not dog people to say you have to. And I agree. It doesn't have all the chemicals in that a cigarette has. It still has the nicotine and everything else in it that helps you. It is a cleaner version, but it's still got a lot of crap in it.
Yeah, it still has a lot of chemical. It has different chemicals in it. And they're finding that for some people, it's really, really bad really fast.
So my point being is that, I'm not, do what you need to for you as far as quitting, and look for the people around you.
It looks
right.
It looks like, Kathy, you don't want to quit because you enjoy it too much.
Yeah, I didn't read that part. I'm sorry. That's my fault. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Anyway, back to what I was saying about the Celica. So I decided to go camping for like a 3-4 day trip, and I packed my tent, my cooler, my food that was in boxes and stuff. I packed all of my firewood in, and everyone was like, how? Because I started off with what appeared to be more mass than the car.
I just realized I wasn't to the screen.
Yeah. I appeared to have more mass than the car itself that I got into the car. And everyone's like, how the? Well, yeah. Like I said, I Tetris good. I will utilize every little inch of space that I possibly can.
Yeah, he's really good about that. Really good.
So, yeah. So I'm learning how to utilize space better because of her. And then receiving more space would be helpful. So those are the two things. And I mean, multifunctional pieces. I know she's talked about like a coffee table that you can hide stuff underneath. In my case, I put those cubicle shelves on top of, my dresser and stuff. So I still had the top of the dresser space, but now it was on top of the cubicles, and I had all the cubicles. Figure out what's important for you, and try to plan accordingly space-wise. What do you need?
I started my series of prepping in small spaces, so I'm going to ask if I can record, just go in your room and just record the two little shelves. Yeah, that was real little.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was meant to be much more subtle. No. Yeah, we'll see. I might send you a photo or two and call it good for that.
Yeah, that would even be great.
But I got just stuff all over. I got to clean before I even consider that.
So the last question I have for you is, what have you learned from me in regards to prepping?
From her? Oh.
Good evening, Danielle, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. And thank you all for joining.
So, honestly, I go back to your manic phase, trying to walk you through it, and try to help you prioritize things. I learned at that point.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I want to say I learned at that point that it wasn't about me at that point. It was about you and trying to help you get through it. But seeing you get through that and having you be okay, and then the pandemic hitting and you were good. Absolutely. And that is absolutely important. Little guys and girls, they got to have that kiss goodnight.
Oh, her babies.
Mm-hmm.
So, Stormy, it's been wonderful to have you. I love you. And give your babies a hug and a kiss for me. And hubby as well. Her babies are the two dogs.
Okay, fur babies. Hey,
yeah, fur babies. And they are adorable. I've shown you pictures.
Kathy, that is awesome.
I will deal with my apartment to find more space. Yep. So, Kathy, if you are willing to send pictures, I would really appreciate it so much for like your space saving things, so I could add them, to my videos. Just the pictures, to give people ideas, because there's so many out there who are working with small spaces and they just don't know how to. And I really want to give them as many ideas as possible. And I love your basket ideas, that, the ones that are by your kitchen counter to expand your kitchen counter space. I love that. I may end up using that concept myself. Yep. Okay. And again, I hope it's the right person with with those baskets.
So, I mean, I would even say that, she's got a decent subscriber base, and I gotta say, because of that, I would throw any ideas you have out, because it might not work for somebody else, but they might know somebody it'll work for.
Mm-hmm.
And even if that's the case, I mean, just having a photo on hand, I mean, so somebody says, oh, check out what I did with my shed in my yard. Well, this guy's in an apartment. Sweet. She's 3 for 3 per night. But I mean, somebody might have an idea for a shed, to utilize the space, but somebody else is like, well, I'm in an apartment, I don't have a shed. But they know somebody with a house, and they can, share it with them. And,
yeah, but a lot of times, like Pilgrim was showing his space utilization, that he was using that shelving in his laundry room. And
that's kind of where I was going.
Yeah, and somebody else was able to use that in their bedroom closet.
Right. So, I mean,
just because the space where you utilize that space doesn't mean that somebody else can't use that space.
Right.
Somewhere else in their
So we all know somebody who will be able to help put some of these ideas together. So send somebody your photos of space saving ideas. So that she can go ahead and put them on like one of her videos and that. And, I mean.
I should do a giveaway with that. That would be a really good idea. Send me your space saving ideas, and then everybody gets to vote.
Ooh.
on their favorite space saving and win a prize. That would be awesome. I like that idea.
Okay.
Kathy says, yes, sir.
Like I said, I just, I'm big on sharing ideas and thoughts and stuff. Years ago in one of the offices I worked in, what you knew was currency. It's how you kept your job. And I'm not going to lie, it pissed me off to no degree. That little bit of a chip on the shoulder kicked in, and I started making it a point to learn things and then literally sharing them with everybody. And it got me in a lot of trouble with my coworkers because suddenly they didn't feel their job was secure and safe anymore. Yeah, it's not a good environment to work in when what you know is how you keep your job.
Right.
Because there was a couple of guys, and one of which I may or may not have threatened to throw out the second story window. And it's actually kind of a funny story. He started yelling at me at my desk one day, and I threatened to throw him out the window. He said, "We're on the second floor," and I used some colorful language saying I wasn't even planning on opening the window. And
I remember when.
Yeah.
I remember when he told me about that the first time.
The part that's funny about that is I kept that job for another year and a half. He got fired a few months later because basically the crap he was pulling with me. So yeah, humor fun, but okay. So yeah, there you go.
So, do you have any questions for me? No? You already told me no.
I already told you no earlier.
So, do you guys have any questions for us? Please say yes.
I have 2 rules on questions. Rule 1. I'm not going to lie. It's gotten me in too much trouble in my past. Then you try to remember, why you told this person how it evolved with it. It's just simpler to just be straight. You can be wrong. You can change your mind. Just be straight about the fact that it did. It'll get you in a lot less trouble because if you're busy lying. Rule number 2. Because of rule number 1, don't ask me a question you want the answer to because I'm not going to lie. And our daughter found that out firsthand.
Right. That's true.
That's another Jerry Springer episode right there. And I'm not going to lie, I still laugh about it.
And remember when I said that I'd been divorced 3 times? Ken and I have never been married, but we are divorced.
Everyone's like, how the hell does that work?
I want questions, and nobody's asking questions.
No.
It's okay.
That's fine.
It's okay.
The comedy of the whole thing is everyone at some point gives me that look of, how are you? They're like, oh, common law. Nope, no common law, no marriage, none whatsoever. We didn't share space long enough to be a common law marriage, first off. Second off, there has to be paperwork that you file for a common law marriage. So
in the state that we were living in.
Right. But you totally just killed my buzz there. So during one of those periods where we were less than excited with each other and we're not necessarily communicating the way we should have been, we ended up using, court systems, lawyers, and everything else. My lawyer looked at the paperwork for 2 single people who were filing for custody for their child, and it was 99. So it was
murky. The paperwork was murky.
Yeah, it was really, really not very cut and dry. But a divorce packet was very cut and dry.
Very clear and concise wording, too.
He used the divorce packet. So, in the state that we filed, we are legally divorced without ever having been married, because when he filed the packet, it filed it as a divorce.
Yep.
So, That's one of the ways I got my job, by the way. They ask, tell us something interesting about yourself. Have I got a story for you? So, yeah. As far as I know, I am the only guy who has never been married, but is legally divorced. And Kathy, I hope that answers your question of how does that work. Next time on Jerry Springer. Although her second husband, I would have happily gone on to Jerry Springer with.
And beating the crud out of him.
We were not on great terms.
Neither were him and I. That's why I divorced him.
Yeah. But her...
That's awesome, Kathy. Married for 16 years.
Yeah.
Divorced for almost 30 and still great friends.
See, we've been technically divorced for 22 years and we're amazing friends now.
Yeah. That's true. No Jerry Springer needed. And no Phil Donahue either. Jerry. Do you see the look that he's... Do you see the look that
you bet, Kathy. I'm glad I could answer the question for you. I told you I'm not shy about, certain things,
ask a question. We're going to give you a straight answer because I'm sure that you guys have figured out by now that I run the channel real life. You see the mess, you see the stains, you see the dirt, you see the grime, you see the mess, and you see the work that I put into prepping, and you see my real life in the process of all of that. And it just is what it is, and I keep my channel as real as I can. I mean, clearly I'm not gonna record somebody that lives here that doesn't want to be recorded. That's not going to happen. So you're not going to see that person. Bye-bye, Ken.
Oh, listen, I'll record with you. I swear I will.
You notice he put the chain around his own neck. I didn't do that.
Like I said, it started off, it was kind of fun. For anyone who came in late or that was how I started it.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to your picks, Kathy. Thank you so much. And like I said, I'm going to actually have to do a giveaway because that's a great idea. I really am very thankful that we did this live stream the way that we did because it gave me a great idea for my segment on prepping in small places. As a matter of fact, I need to do another one of those segments, but I got to get the garage work done first. So the giveaway will really help me in that because I'll still be able to do a segment, but
Thanks, guys.
Get stuff done.
Now somebody gets to go work in the garage with somebody else.
Yep.
Because somebody else can't lift the heavy stuff. Thanks. Oh.
Now, because of the delay, I don't know what everybody's laughing about. Or I don't know what anybody's laughing about, the LOL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's for because...
I'm sure it's for everything in the last few minutes, to be honest.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Kathy, I'm looking forward to seeing them myself. I don't necessarily have a huge amount of great picks, but I'm going to clean up some of the stuff I have. I'll add it to the list.
He even uses the bottom bunk of a bunk bed.
Yeah, it's
awesome. He really utilizes that space very well.
At first, we were utilizing the bottom bunk of a bunk bed. When my son is here, he shares a room with me. That's part of the reason I'm a little about photos in my room because it's not just my space. And I was using the top of it, and part of it collapsed, and it was because of my mistakes, not because of the structure of the thing. But I realized if I put him on everything, set up his bed on the top bunk and everything else, then underneath, I know. You're going to check out the pictures. So I realized if I put everything on the top bunk and removed all the, the framework for the mattress on the bottom bunk, but still kept the four corners, I could use it as an additional space as well. So I actually have a lot of boxes from that original apartment that I was telling you about. And, we're talking about, I still have a lot of stuff I got to go through to see what's going to be kept and what's not. But a lot of that will, be gone through when I get closer to moving into a place of my own. So in the meantime, I have to keep everything safe and taken care of. So, hey, you know what, Kathy? Like I said, your apartment isn't put together completely, so you'll fudge it.
That works. It's real life, and you just moved, so it's not like we're expecting everything to be perfect.
Like I said, I need my son's a teenage boy. He's 17. So I have to have some respect for his space as well. That's part of what I want to have cleaned up. I don't want him to feel like his space was invaded, because that's just not right. So, happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Kathy. Oh, that's a great birthday question to ask for. I asked, the Mother's Day present that I asked for was my daughter to help me with shadow boxes. That didn't happen. But I did get the baby handprints that I wanted. And I got the added bonus, my daughter and her other half also put handprints on the picture for me too. It's amazing. I love it.
Absolutely.
And Stormy, I as you can see, I have my phone. But it's not showing me.
It's because you just turned it on.
I just turned the phone on.
It's going to take a few minutes.
It's going to take a few minutes for that picture to come through, but I promise you I will show him that picture as soon as it comes through. Ow, I just hit my knee on the bottom of the table. That hurt.
Okay, I think we're safe. No bomb squad.
Yeah, no bomb squad. I don't hear any sirens.
You got a broken elbow over yours.
Right?
I'm
yep.
so sorry.
Yep, she did. And she's been trying to heal all this time. It's crazy.
So, yeah. It is entertaining. I only got a couple of broken body parts that were broken. Biggest one's probably my back. But we'll see how it goes.
Oh, here it comes, Stormy.
Woohoo! Dun 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 dun. So I gotta share this. I don't know how well that's gonna translate because it's all backwards, but
a wise man once told his wife nothing because he was a wise man.
I am not a wise man, and I don't have a wife, so I'm exempt. That's the lie I'm going with.
That's the lie you're going with. I like
straight.
That.
15 minutes I was.
You were doing your arm exercises? Yeah. How did that go, honey? How's your arm feeling after your exercises? Better or worse? It's forward. Oh, yeah, the picture. I saw that. It was forward.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
On the laptop, it's forward. On the phone, it's backward. It's mirror image on the phone. There's a button you can push on your phone to mirror, so it'll turn it around.
She figured this out. I didn't.
Yeah, my other daughter is a hairdresser, dog groomer. I know, funny. I told her I wanted my haircut for Mother's Day. Yeah, no haircut yet. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how that works. My daughter is not a hairdresser, and my daughter did cut my hair, and it's all crooked, and I love it. I don't care.
Had to do something to
Yes.
get it trimmed up. So
Yes. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. So it's really funny as
I'm having a bad hair day, so I don't know what to tell you.
It's really funny that you were talking about the garage, right? I actually recorded a video this morning of the garage that's going out tomorrow morning. Oh, I figured out how to I was playing around with it this morning. I figured out how to
run. You're talking about working in the garage. I'm running.
Yes, you are. But I figured out how to load the videos and have them play later at a set time, and I don't remember what that's called because, well, my brain is stuck on stupid. So anyway, yeah. So I can now get my videos made and get them scheduled. I can schedule the upload for the release for when I need to, and I figured out this morning I can do it on my phone too. Well, it's worse, but eventually it won't hurt. I think I have an exercise bike. The arm handles move back and forth to bend and straighten my arm. I'm doing it 5 minutes 4 times a day. I'm gonna get this elbow straight if it kills me. I am so sorry that it's taking so long and that it hurts. My sweet sister, I love you very much. And I know you're going to get that elbow straight because you are just adamant. And I'm really, really proud of you. So, really proud.
Miss Stormy, this will be where I kind of poke my head in probably something I probably shouldn't have, but I will anyway.
He's a massage therapist. He's the reason why I told you to go to Massage Envy and get your arm massaged and your shoulder massaged.
I don't have an active license. I'm working on getting it back. That said, when you're doing your exercises, because it's really kick-ass that you're doing them 4 times a day, you're doing them for 5 minutes at a time, you never want it to get past that feel-good hurt, where you feel that it's doing some rebuilding. Once it gets into that, I think you're a little far for me, but I see that you say you want a massage.
No, she's just saying that she agrees. She can't drive herself, and that's why she doesn't go do it, is because she can't drive herself with her arm the way that it is. And she has so many appointments already that hubby is growly about it a little bit.
So, okay. Like I said, I want to finish out the workout one before I lose my train of thought. Never get past that feel good hurt stage. If you feel yourself going into pain, like actual pain,
like, oh my God, ow, that hurts.
Then I'm gonna tell you, you're now doing damage.
Right.
So it's frustrating, it's irritating, it makes you want to go crazy. But I'm telling you now, don't go past that. That good pain, that where you feel everything kind of working and easing. It's stiff, it's sore, you're working that out. That's what you want to feel. If you get really past that, you're going to be in trouble.
Her massage therapist,
mm-hmm.
Or not her massage therapist, but her person that, her physical therapist did severe damage, put her back months in recovery.
Okay.
Because pushed her too hard.
Yeah, if you push too hard, and this goes for anything, if you push yourself to the point that you're doing, you're doing just as your therapist says.
Yep, only 5 minutes.
Perfect. As long as you don't go into that spot where you're hurting yourself more. But it doesn't matter if it's for an elbow. It doesn't matter if it's for a leg. It doesn't matter for a workout even. Once you push yourself to the point that you're in physical pain, you're doing damage, not helping. So make sure that you're remembering that, whether you're working out or whether you're rebuilding muscle or anything else. Same is true for your back, your knees, any of that.
Yeah.
I'm working on the muscle for my back, for my knees right now, both my ankle too. So nerve pain is absolutely friggin' awful.
I'm glad it's gone now.
Yeah, I'm with you. The other thought that runs through my head: most states have massage therapy schools. They have students. They are looking for practice. They have people who are fresh out of school. They are looking for a client base. Okay, in our state, in the states in the Northwest, okay, Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, I believe, is also in this, but I'm not 100%. But in both Oregon and Washington, when you're a student, you cannot accept money for a service of massage.
Until you have your license. But while you're a student learning,
you can't accept money because you're a student.
Okay? And not licensed.
You're not currently licensed. You're covered under the school's license. Okay. If you want to go ahead and get a hold of a local school or anything else, a lot of them have like people that they can refer you to, either for students, but more likely for graduates, and they'll be able to travel to you to make life a little easier.
That's the other thing I forgot to tell you, Stormy, is that a lot of times they'll come to you.
You can call somebody. It's a little more expensive sometimes if you get somebody who is been doing this for any length of time.
But if you get a student,
you want to be careful with a student. You want to go ahead and probably get somebody who's just finished school.
Right.
One, their training is good. Two, they're trying to build their client base. If you volunteer for a student, I don't know if they can travel to you or not, but it is something you want to look into. However, keeping in mind, like I said, you are inviting somebody into your home. So my recommendation is, until you build a relationship with this person, have somebody you trust there. Can be a friend, can be
it can be hubby, and then he can get a massage too.
Also, so stuff to think about. Like I said, I don't want to encourage anyone to just all of a sudden, see your massage therapist or your therapist massage your arm and use the cool laser on you, and also taped it. Cool laser. I have no idea.
We're not allowed to use it here in Washington or Oregon.
I don't see, and like I said, it's an option, not a. I see you don't like strangers in the house. Totally respect that.
That's okay. Have them in the barn.
Totally respect that. Like I said, just options for you. They may not work for you, but if you don't know what your options are, you can't make a decision. Things might happen and you change your mind. But like I said, yep.
Yeah, the cool laser, it's not allowed here. I don't know why, but I wanted them to do it on my neck because of my migraines, and they said it's not legal here.
So. All right.
And it might just be that where I go for massage, that they're not licensed, but, and they don't want me to go somewhere else.
I will. I'm absolutely curious. Keeping in mind that I will tell you from my professional standpoint, I imagine they do. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes. I have been asked if I give a happy ending at the end of a massage. Nope. I'm not a whore, so the answer is no. Okay. And yes, I'm sure that your husband probably would be like, you're a 6'4" Okay. I don't want a happy ending for you. Durr. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. A lot of modalities require a specific practice.
Right.
Like, when I renew my license, I will have the modality of hot stone attached to my repertoire, if you will. I'm legally allowed to give a hot stone massage. There are a lot of them that they won't do because of the sensitivity of it and the potential for lawsuit. But when you get into those, you're going to pay more because of it.
Yep. The first time that I heard about the cool laser was from when Stormy took her puppy to the vet because he'd gotten out and tore up his paw while he was running amok.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, I could spend all day talking about this stuff, so I probably better stop. Otherwise, I will end up.
All right. Well, we are at 2 hours and 16 minutes. So, and I've got a lot I have to get done, and I got to get back to work. It has been wonderful hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, and Lisa, yes, the hot stone is very cool.
Yeah.
I will tell you now that the picture that they show where they set the stone on somebody's back, yes, so not happen.
Right now.
If you want me to explain that another time, let me know, but I think we'll probably pass on it on the live stream right now. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, the cool laser is what they were doing for the dog, and that's when he broke her arm, or he broke her elbow, not her arm.
Cool.
But yeah, she was picking him up from the vet for the dog having the cool laser on his paw. And the dog's paw healed up real quick and really well, but her elbow is still broken.
All right. Well, she said sure, so I'll do a quick explanation, then I'm going to bow out. If you're going to do a full body...
Hey, Jules.
What's up, Jules? The full body hot stone massage is...
Coming in late is okay. Totally cool. Glad to have you.
The full body hot stone massage, the entire body gets hold me down. Running to the truck, hold me down. Ooh, yeah. A true full body hot stone massage.
I think that she was saying that it was okay to do that offline.
Oh, okay. We'll do it offline.
We have her phone number. If you guys want... And, if you guys want, we can actually just do another live stream later and he can, tell you all about that stuff. For the moment, though, I really got to get going. My laptop is about to shut off on us.
Oh, and for anyone who's curious, just in the comments mention that you want goofy stories about somebody we all know, and I'm happy to share a few.
He only has 32 years of goofy stories to share about me.
All right. Thank you all for sharing time with us.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I'm gassy all of a sudden. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And I really look forward to doing a live stream again. And while this wasn't exactly 100% successful, at least now I know to get a booster so that I can go anywhere in the house, because I wouldn't even be able to go up to my bedroom with the connection that we have. So anyway, thanks guys. Have a good night.
Yes, take care. Thanks for sharing time with me.
And thank you, Ken, for letting me interview you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.